We tried for weeks to get them back. None of them agreed.
Yeah, it was such a clever device that they used for episode 1 of this new season to not show us the outside.
I went to go find Bert.
What a great way to establish that suspense.
Why do you care what happens to me?
Because we're people, not parts of people.
Out of here.
She's one of us. I'll help.
We do forget that sometimes, don't we? But we're people. And by some of us forget, I do mean those in charge. We all know. Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Where? Here, wait.
Yeah, she's the only one that knows what's going on, doesn't she?
Don't go far, though.
Nice, let's have a talk. Do you know what? Oh. Oh.
You okay? What's my name?
Persephone.
Can you spell that?
Mate, you need to catch him up. Do you know what? Instantly forgiven. Last episode. Now that we've, they only left it one episode. Yeah, look at what is in his hand. Devon, are we just letting that go? Okay. Okay. Yeah. One episode, fair enough. Another episode would have been taken the piss, if I do say so. So this is perfect. I am very happy. Do you know what's gone on? Oi, oi, Dusty. I wonder if he'll perceive her to be, like, broken in some way or tarnished. Just because of the fact that she's severed. Eventually. Or even now, because of,
Fetid moppet.
Okay. That feels a bit practiced, mate.
Father.
She just took that straight on the chin. Alright. Really? You want to separate them? He wants to separate them as two separate people, but as soon as she is the other one, he perceives them to be the same, and he gives this version of her the punishment he wants to give the other one. That man has no morals. We knew that, I know, but I do need to just point to and draw attention to it because I hate him. I've seen a grand total of like 2 scenes with that man, but I hate him with the bottom of my soul, mate. He represents and inhabits everything about society that I hate.
I'll have someone from the floor liaise with the Audis.
Right, so you're going to talk to them all then? Always in the light, and even when the lights are off.
I need you to go see all of them. Find out every word they said and who they said it to.
And shall I fire them?
Let Kier guide your hand.
They don't hear themselves, do they? How do you not realise how much of this is a cult? I'm sorry, I know that's not really how cults work. If they all realised how insane it was, that it wouldn't exist. Oh, hello.
Please, sit.
Honestly, where? Do you know what? I need a bit more direction, mate. There's too much choice.
Natalie is already doing outreach to media.
To media. So it did go out. Perfect. Well, we kind of know that now, as of last episode. Sorry, but...
You saved us from disaster.
Okay.
Will Mr. Egan be joining?
That's all you care about, innit? A woman with a mission, I like it.
Which is why we'd like to ask you back.
None surprising. They've styled her differently. She looks different. I don't know what it is. And it's very subtle.
An apology is warranted.
No, it's just the lighting. Sorry, this isn't important.
I apologize.
Wow, that came easy.
My father apologizes.
No, he don't, mate.
The board apologizes.
No, okay. Okay.
We've treated you poorly. I'm sorry.
You do have a softer hand. And to be fair, she really took... I mean, it speaks to trauma, sure. There's absolutely a lot going on with Helena. But it does show that resilience, I think. The resilience that we've seen in the inside version of her, the severed version of her. The fact that he came in and all that emotion, and she just took it kind of calmly. And I don't even think it was... Yeah, sure, that trauma was there. I think she's just used to it, which is sad and not great. But also, I think there was kind of an almost tired air to her of... This is just how he is. It's fine. It doesn't affect me anymore. And Miss Cobel there, I think an apology is warranted. She didn't even blink. Helena was just like, I apologise. The board apologises. My father apologised. Do you know, she seems very in control of herself, actually. And I think there's very much, obviously, a horrible person underneath it all, but I feel like it makes her more dangerous. I think because all I'd seen of her was that video, almost that anger spilling out of her when she was talking to Helena. It seemed perhaps that she wasn't so tightly in control. She was a bit of a brat, and I think she still probably is, But this is a different side to her. Very professional, very in control, very driven, very focused. I wonder what her goal is. I mean, she's clearly looking to usurp her father eventually, become the one that's in charge. Sorry, just interesting to see her this way. And a great performance from Britt there, because it's so amazing how they do feel like very different people. And I mean, the fact that with all of the indoctrination Helena has into it all, the fact that she was so driven to get severed and do what she did shows a lot of gumption, actually. And sorry, I am dressing this up in a way that makes it seem as if I'm trying to compliment her or that I admire her. I think she's a horrible person, to be clear. But I'm just saying that it just tells you a lot, I think, about her character, who she is. And again, is, like I say, a representation of that fire, that drive, that motivation that she has that we've seen in Helena, and how that translates depending on your environment. And actually how similar, as much as they are so different, how similar actually both Helena and Helena Egan are.
We have something else in mind.
Of course you do.
We'd like to offer you a promotion.
Okay. Look at that. And I guess the public, well, I say that Milchick was saying what happened to her. How honest was he being? We don't know. They're never going to find out. The inside selves, at least to like Milchick's mind. What's the truth at this point?
I should be running the severed floor.
Really? You're grabbing for more? Why do you want that so badly? Yeah, I'm so interested by her.
You don't value me. You fear me.
Okay.
We fear no one.
Okay. Okay, Milchick.
I'll put some thought to it. I don't need an escort.
Damn, she is really taking power for herself. Yeah, I wonder if Mark got through to her at the party, actually. I mean, it seemed like he did at the time. Clearly so. She is not cowed by an Egan. Or maybe it's just not cowed by Helena, specifically. Is that a gender thing? Is that simply because she is empowered? Is it because she's not head Egan?
I made the poor decision to consume alcohol while on a non-Lumen medication.
Really? Okay.
Ah, Mr. Milchick.
Wow, we are on the damage control, aren't we? Very quick.
What did I eat in there?
What do you know?
You know your innie is a friend of mine. Confident he'd approve of me saying so.
You're firing me.
Yeah, liar, liar, liar. So what you told Mark was a lie.
You were the aggressor. Wait, I'm afraid we've no choice.
Distrust of Lumen has been sadly endemic since its founding.
I bet. Hey, let's fire that up, mate.
What am I supposed to tell my wife?
Yeah, so your plans have been foiled, mate, whatever they are.
But I'm also human.
So they invited them all back
Just like my innie.
to sort Mark out.
And just like you.
God, they are such liars, aren't they? These faces they put on for the public, and it is all just going towards them getting what they want. The orange jumpsuit, almost like prison. Going downstairs, searching, flashlight. Pulling out the chip, yeah. Oh, that's really cool. The goats, man. Using your outside self to get out. Yeah. Cobel watching everything. There she is. There was a Helly and Miss Casey mixed there, wasn't there? Oh God. Was that Irv crawling on the floor?
I'll let you know if we do another reading.
Yeah, let's talk to Mark.
Don't punish the baby, Ricken. This wasn't its fault.
What?
Good night, Rebecca.
What a wild thing to say.
You can reschedule the reading to next month. It's fine. I just have to decide if I'm going to restart with chapter 1.
Okay, Ricken.
So you said she's alive?
I really did feel it was clear you were referencing the baby. Patton had just saved her.
Well, he found her, yeah.
Come on.
And I think that your workie was excited. I have to say, Mark, he really is a jewel.
Obviously, I was referencing the baby.
God damn, no.
No, yeah, I agree. I think Ricken is right.
Devon, he had a picture.
And then when Patton found Eleanor...
Saved her, I'd still say.
Okay, whatever.
Has Patton doing what he did ruined this for them? Because obviously it was Mark who found. Do you know what I mean? Because Patton brought her out, and it does, that's what makes it look like he was talking about the baby. But he'd already seen the baby, so why would he be running through and shouting she's alive? Patton doing what he did makes it seem this way, which is why they think he was talking about the baby. Patton, man! Oh!
Yeah, I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
It's kind of wild.
Perhaps Cobelvig would be a helpful nomenclature?
And assuming that she's alive really was about the baby.
Come on. Can you not request I wonder if they've done this, but can you not request of Lumen, change him, you know, obviously with Mark's consent, change him to Mark S and talk to him so he can clear this up? Do you know what I mean? This is what I'd be thinking at this point.
Oh, God damn it, Rutbeck.
This is Milchick.
Why are you being a to me? I'm trying to help you.
I'm just trying to get...
Dr. Hale.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you have a few questions.
Oh, you could say that.
Mm-hmm.
May I sit with you?
I think me and Ricken made the same face.
You must be Devon.
Yeah. Give him all the eye. Okay. Yeah, okay, no, Devon does, I think, suspect. So we'll see.
Magnificent helmet.
The overtime contingency.
Yeah, you never told me about this.
It can be found in your start paperwork.
But you never declared. You sneaky bastard. In the fine print, eh?
It seems the tech...
Just brushed right over that, didn't he?
What did he say to you?
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you, are you going to punish him for it?
Nice.
We have no punishments at Lumen.
I love this from you, Devon.
We're more concerned about how you're doing, Mr. Scout.
Yeah, speaking of violations,
Let's go, Dev.
wondering how common it is for your managers to commit lactation fraud.
Let's go. Hit him hard.
Pretty common?
Don't give him a rest.
Nor bedevil you out here any further. You've my word.
He used the word bedevil. Ricken's on his side. And I don't know how to explain that. I just know that's what went on there.
Is there anything you can tell me?
Don't tell him anything.
I mean...
You need to make a call to Regabi, buddy.
I hope to see you Monday.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Aha. So you aren't firing him, but you fired the rest. It's like, what's the motivation for that? Is it control? And it's funny that the other two wanted to stay and Mark doesn't. It's so funny how much they like Milchick lied to Mark S. You know, because he said the complete opposite. He was like, Mark begged to come back in. Nope. The others didn't want to come back. Nope. It's all just lies. I mean, not surprising, you know.
What your innie did tonight was completely unauthorized.
But yeah, so why? Why the discrepancy between why you need to keep Mark S? Is it something to do with Miss Casey? That's the mystery this season, isn't it? Miss Casey, why? And what's the connection to him? Why do you need to keep it? Is he there as leverage for her, I wonder? Because you got to argue they're perhaps unsevering, well, they are unsevering her in the basement, whatever. So she's going to know they have him. Are they trying to keep him in to leverage her and be like, well, we've got him here? Don't, you know, you got to be on board. I don't know what for, but maybe.
It was also very brave.
Weird way to put it.
I'd hate to reward his courage with non-existence.
So you do see non-existence as a bad thing, but you don't treat it that way in the way you behave, do you, mate? Honestly. Such a, like what Milchick just said there and how he's acted in regard to it and how he's treated them. It just is such a demonstration of this moral dissonance. Knowing something, thinking something, but not particularly feeling it in a way that makes you actually behave a different way. He's so cold and cut off. It's exactly what you've got to be to rise up in the ranks and thrive in this kind of environment, right? This corporate environment. Milchick is kind of the prime example of that. So is this episode going to go towards showing us the 5 months then?
You think we're about to meet our spouses?
Helena's watching that, okay. I wonder if she's going to talk to Mark.
Honey, you're cutting them wrong.
Okay, there's a human underneath all of that. Yeah, right now in the show, because we're still getting used to, I mean, her character too, there's such interesting potential character studies for like her, the potential for this kind of dynamic of their severed selves, Helena, Mark Scout. It's 4 people, right, essentially in that mix. And I feel like that dynamic is such a recipe for such interest. What's Helena gonna do as a result of this? I feel like there's many different ways it could go. She had a little bit of a smile to herself. How's she gonna react to the kiss? We'll see in a second. But she had a little bit of a smile that was a bit more of a human reaction. You know, something in there that's like, huh, yeah, I found that funny. That was quite cute. You know, is she going to get attached to Mark in a certain way? Or go and meet Mark? Is something going to happen there? Then obviously he's got Miss Casey. I feel like the show has kind of constructed the episodes and got to a place now in episode 2 season 2 where it does make you, I feel like, speaking for myself as the audience, so excited for the potential of this dynamic, you know, this foursome that we have. and how the interactions between them all go forward. Are we going to get them reintegrated? I actually feel like to a certain extent, if you do reintegrate them, that is kind of shoehorning you into one path for that story. So I don't even know if reintegration actually, I was saying that last season, would be the best path. At least not immediately. I think if it was going to happen, it would have to be towards the end of the season, actually. Because I feel like there's so much more to explore before you get to that point. Maybe it doesn't even happen this season and that's what we work towards. But I actually do. I'm going to hedge back a little bit because I feel like if they did it too soon, it would be a bad thing. Just because there's so much unplumbed potential. And I'm so interested, so intrigued at the potential.
In case we don't come back. In case we do.
Is that why you went back in? Did this hit you? I mean, it is hitting you. I can kind of see that. In what way, though? Because there's shock there, surprise. Is it the fact that her inside self did that? Is it fear at what it might mean? You know, is her father, I mean, her father disapproves of probably everything, but, you know, is it that? Is it the idea that it might get out to the public? I mean, they control all the fight. Do you know what I mean? Just where's that shock coming from? I am willing to bet that it's shock that her inside self did it and the repercussions for that. Has she always struggled? I don't know. Is there some part of her, Helena, that wants a partner, has never found, has never fallen in love maybe? And yet her inside self has got there before her. There's this person, this incarnation that she treats so lowly, that she treats with so much disrespect, doesn't really see as a person, has found something that perhaps has eluded her. You know, is there jealousy there? Is that going to twist her, make her bitter? Oh God, is the version that's inside not severed? Sorry, because I just had the idea of, because of this, if that is the case, if she covets this, doesn't have this, is jealous of this, maybe there's going to be a part of her that has a very human reaction to that of, I want to go in and experience that and maybe trick Mark in a certain way and take that from my severed self. My severed self isn't allowed that. She's not even human. I want it. I'm going to take it. That would be very much in character for Helena. And she was very practiced last episode of the story she gave. And it would track that conversation they had about we're not the same. Would track for Helena too. Helena would say that as well as Helly. It's Helena. It's Helena's inside, isn't she? She's just gone in unsevered. That would be so interesting. And it would make sense. The bitter, angry, manipulative, powerful person that she is. And also, I feel like that is one of the really interesting paths for the foursome and the potential that I feel like there is for those characters. That's a really interesting choice to make. And I think provides a lot of characterful potential. Characterful? You know what I mean.
You got this.
Oh, you're going for a new job? Job interview?
You are so awesome. Smile.
Oh, bless you. Was that why you severed yourself? You get anxiety? Yeah, maybe. Oh, Dylan. I do love him, you know.
May I ask about benefits?
Yes, mate.
There's a coffee maker.
I'm in. I'm in. Oh, my bar's so low.
Healthcare benefits?
Yeah, stay on point, fair.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like doors. How old were you when you knew you loved doors?
What?
5.
Oh, is it a door? Do you make doors?
You could be any kind of door. What would it be?
A strange question.
Pocket. Interesting. Tell me more.
This is how insane. These interviews are so stupid. I'm not sorry. I'm not at all. But it is. And I love that we're actually getting a scene outside of, you know, just a normal job interview. Because they ask all of these questions and it's like, why this company? Money, dickhead. Obviously, money. Like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do the job. I'm sorry, a lot of anger. I'll rein that in. No, do you know what? No, never rein it in. Never rein it. Okay, well, it depends contextually. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to doors, let all the anger out.
Glad finish your eggshell.
Okay.
Semi-gloss.
You nailed that, mate. Well done.
That's hot.
Hello. He's hard. He is hard.
You remind me of me, Dylan. You like kickball?
The doors in the background.
We play on Fridays. There's a fun prize if you win. You mean a door prize?
Oh, God. Whoa.
And then Lumen, and they make their doors in-house. It's hubris. I was a Severed employee, so. You're a Severed?
All right.
Yeah, I was. But...
Are we discriminating?
Thanks for coming in.
What?
We'll consider your application thoroughly.
You can't...
I'm severed. Like I said, we'll consider your application thoroughly.
Why?
I mean, all that's discrimination.
Yep.
A certain kind of person here, Mr. George, not a certain kind of two people.
But he's not.
Circumcise your brain, that's your business. But it doesn't mean I have to hire you. And personally,
Do you know what,
I think
actually?
it's abhorrent.
I'm kind of with him. Fair play to him. I like Dylan. So, do you know what I mean? Like, about the abhorrent thing. But you can't not hire someone for that. They're not going to be severed, are they? While they're working for you? Like, you can't. You can't discriminate.
Read the room. I would have picked up the phone if it was good news.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whoa, buddy.
You'll get the next one.
Stop being nice.
Let her be nice. Good to know Gretchen's Gretchen, though. And she is nice.
We need more baby wipies.
I don't think so.
You know what? I'll get some anyway.
Buddy, listen to Gretchen. Gretchen seems like a golden... I don't know what I was going to say. Ticket? Good, that's a bit rude. A good person.
And what about Cobel? Have you heard from her? I was just thinking maybe there was a way we could confirm what your any meant.
Yes.
But don't you think that was strange last night? Why was he so curious?
Yeah.
I identified her, saw her body.
Yeah, I know.
Really? How did they do that?
Just get like a half step more confirmation that continues to haunt us, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
She was my family too, Mark.
Yeah, but she was my wife.
Okay, possessive.
You're not the only one her death affected.
Thank you.
Really, it affected you?
Yes.
Why would it not?
Did you have to tell her parents that she was dead?
Oh, buddy, it's not a competition. Stop it.
Did your sheets smell like her for weeks afterwards?
Okay, I get that she's bringing up your wife and you just want to let it lie because you've done all the work and you are actually just finding now a place where you can like move on and deal with it and process and move on with your life, and this is bringing you... I get the emotional response, but also don't do that. That's not fair. That is not fair to Devon either. And she had a relationship too. She just said they were family. Ricken said we were like family. You can't take that away from her.
If Ricken died,
Buddy.
burned, I'd be sad.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be affected.
Whoa.
Want to be sure.
I am sure.
Server was in and out, mate. Like, fair enough. Yeah.
Mark.
Damn. Don't let up, Devon. What? Huh? Frolly? Mate, you gotta pick a better font than that, I swear. Oh, Frolic. I swear, I blinked and I just saw Frodo, and I was like, just really into it. Oh, God. Yeah. Was that at the behest of Helena, I wonder? The two fish divided. I don't know if they are divided, it just looks like that, right? Almost a representation of a severed self. Yeah, I do want to know more about outside of... Okay, who are you gonna call? My Innie got the message. Yeah, not really, but I can imagine why you would think that. Oh, hello. Yeah, we didn't see, 'cause he was banging on the door. We haven't actually seen what happened there. And he must have changed. Maybe he changed before he even said anything. Oh, changing the light. Not quite. God, who brings a pineapple?
Mr. Milchick?
Trying to get him back?
Compliments of the company.
And you couldn't have sprung for a little bit of something more than fruit?
Okay to talk a minute?
Now that he's isolated away from everyone.
Yeah, come on in.
I'd bring a bottle of wine or... No, he's recovering, sorry. Chocolate? You know what I mean? Live a little.
How happy are you with your current financial compensation?
Okay.
A 20% bump is on the table.
You could up that.
20%.
How much you get paid now?
And regular wellness checks from independent orgs.
Okay. Independent orgs, are they? It feels like you have your fingers in that, mate.
My third question concerns your late wife, Gemma.
Whoa, buddy. There was some steel in that Gemma delivery there, wasn't there? A little bite.
You said since she died, every day feels like a year.
You're really pulling on his trauma to try and get him back. They really will stoop as low as they can. Get what they want.
The Mark I've come to know at Lumen is happy.
Liar.
He's found love.
Wow, you're using that.
The solace you have given him down there will make its way to you. It just takes time. I hope you'll give us that time.
Compelling. So manipulative, isn't he? Because it sounds good. Is it really been 5 months? I'm starting to doubt it now, actually. Yeah. The whole thing about the reforms, is that just to appease Mark S. and to appease him to be like, it's all sorted, it's all fixed, stay here. You know, was that newspaper, was it all faked? Hello. Yeah, it's not been 5 months, has it?
I had 48 hours to pull this together.
48 hours, that's crazy. God.
We don't need chemistry.
Because what does that do? 5 months. It's been 5 months. That makes you so depressed. After 5 months, everything changed, but nothing really changed. That kind of hopelessness that they injected into Marquez by doing this was designed to try to get him to conform, to subjugate him, to break him down so they could reestablish him in this as what they want. God damn. I wish I was surprised, man, but...
We need Marquez back to work.
Right. Why him?
Long enough to complete Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor. Yeah, I saw that. And what is Cold Harbor? Sorry, I'm gonna Google, because to me, sorry, I know Cold Harbor from Elder Scrolls, and it's like a plane of hell, basically, right? But I know, isn't it something from some religion or something? Ah, okay, no, sorry, do you know what? I started typing Cold Harbor and I saw a picture of Severance. I'm not doing it, I can't. But is it some kind, I feel like it's a reference to something in the real world, and I can't Google it. I'm so scared of spoilers, but so is there something to do with Cold Harbor? And is it the connection perhaps between Miss Casey and Mark that they need to complete it, whatever that is? Are they testing for some new technology that is inherent in that, is some kind of emotional connection or something? Because what does it do? It triggers their fear. It triggers an emotion in a person, right? Yeah, and all of that kind of, as he came in, yeah, they didn't want to come back, your guys. That's why we got the new guys in. Again, inciting that hopelessness in him, trying to push him down emotionally to subjugate him, make him more malleable emotionally, right? That's what all of that was, to get him to stay. And God, they achieved it. They broke him down to the point, they gave him a goal. What was that? They sidetracked him almost. It didn't become about getting out anymore. It became about getting his friends back in. And when he got that reward given to him, he was satisfied and he stayed. Yeah, okay, under the guise of let's figure out what's going on here. But also I was talking about last episode, that emotional manipulation as well of, well, now they don't want to leave because they have that love or that emotional connection, that friendship, the budding romance between Helly and him. And what does it result in? Him staying in there, which is what they want. And that's what that did last episode. The process that they went through was to break him down, to build him up and make him stay and get him to a place where he needed or wanted that. How they did that last episode. It was kind of almost perfectly manipulated to get what they wanted. That's crazy, man.
The board's going to give him what he wants, including Heliar.
Oh.
He won't finish without them.
Wow, she's just been pushed into it. Damn. Oh, I was so sure, man. I don't think we're closing the door to that, though, to be honest. That reaction that she had when she looked at that footage, I'm getting inklings, mate.
Mr. George.
Do you know what? I keep saying that it needs to mix up the fruit bowl, but god damn, it works. Like, sad, innit?
3 days of work. Broke a lease in Grand Rapids.
No.
Give me another reason to sue.
Good luck. God, they really don't care at all, do they? Just manipulating people. No care at all for their individual circumstances. All that matters is the company and the bottom line and the money or the goal, you know, which for most is money. For these guys, Cold Harbor, whatever that is. I just feel like it's developing some kind of technology that's, I don't know, something to do with Severance or like the next step. Maybe. Yeah, these guys really are just here to facilitate Marquez staying. I don't think, actually, if Irv had walked out and chosen to leave, he would have been allowed to. I think that was just a gambit by Milchick in the hope that they would stay. What a gamble. It would have been bad if they'd have walked out. Okay, good. This episode and last episode, I feel like have transitioned us over from last season into the new season. Now, next episode, I feel like we're going to be going on with the story of this season, right? There was a little bit of a transition that needed to happen to get us to this place after the events of the finale, and this episode really ties that up now. Confrontation, let's go.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
The way that she said that was much more the inflection she has when she talks to Marquez. That derision.
I ate your fucking cookies.
They convinced you to stay. Was a pineapple involved?
Yeah, right. It's weird, isn't it? You know it. How if you know it, whatever.
You're so easy to sway.
That's what I'm saying. Sorry, Cobel. You can't say mate. You took the promotion as well. Hypocrite.
Why did you do this?
She could tell him everything. Is my wife alive?
Do you know something about Gemma?
Runs him over. Ah, that's all you needed to see. That reaction. Now it's got in your head. Gemma. Cobel, you have got a poor poker face, mate. Okay. That is the worst reaction you could have had to that, because now he's on your scent. You screwed yourself, Cobel. You screwed Lumen. Yeah. Now what are you thinking? Exactly, and now you're on board. Alright, nice. Yeah, goodbye, Mrs. Selvig, indeed. She is gone. I think these first 2 episodes have been pretty strong. I think the negatives almost of last episode of that kind of, oh, I'm back on the leash again. That's not going to work this season, I think, have been kind of redressed this episode. You know, they only kind of held out for 1 episode and then showed us. And I think, you know, some really interesting story beats coming in with, yeah, like I say, the potential for the characters. I mean, we still do know so little. I really want to find out more about Irving. I love the little glimpses of Dylan that we got, actually, this episode too. Outside Dylan. But the foursome in Helena, Mark Scout, I love that. I think that's probably the strongest actually draw for the show now in how that goes. And then obviously we've got Cold Harbour, and obviously I think this season we are just dealing with Gemma. What is going on with that? I have seen people talk in the comments about, and you know, thank you, because said in a way that doesn't give it away of what is revealed, how it goes, blah blah blah, but kind of positing this idea that maybe we don't get answers, or because I'm talking about, like, you know, all of this suspense leading on of the audience, all of this mystery and wanting answers for it, and people kind of talking about being okay with which is valid. Okay, not getting answers, and actually the point of the show is more kind of just the commentary and what's going on, and showing dynamics and all of the corporatism, capitalism, all that stuff, which I feel like is really good too. I do personally think, though, I don't buy that. Like, for me personally, again, you know, if you disagree, you're not wrong. This is just my opinion, my taste. But I do really think that they can't do that. I think they've set up a mystery specifically. And if they wanted this show to be about just the subtleties and the allegories and the capitalism, corporatism, and just you know, kind of focusing on the message and the dynamic and that sort of thing, it needed to be a limited series. You can't have season 1, season 2, maybe there's going to be a season 3, and not have a resolution or a natural endpoint of the plot point of the mystery. What's going on at Lumen? What's going on down in the basement? I think you do need to set up answers for that. I think you do need to have answers for that. And I think it's the worst show if you don't have answers for that. Just based on the medium. What they've chosen to do, the fact that they've chosen to do multiple seasons, the fact that they are leading you on so much and using so much of the mystery to entice you as the audience, you can't then not answer it. You can't. Oh, you can, but I do think that makes it a worse show, right? And so I feel like if this season does go that way and doesn't give answers to it, I do, to me, my opinion, I do think that is a bad thing. At this point, I think that there is a show in Severance that could have worked without giving any answers, and that could have been a strength, but only if it was a limited series. I think the way that they've chosen to go with it, I just don't think that would work. So, like, I'm talking about needing answers and really getting to the bottom of it eventually. I'm not in a rush to get there, but I do feel like we need to get there, and I do feel like they've kind of shoehorned themselves into needing to get there. Otherwise, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. You know what I mean? Just because of the way that they've gone with the show. That's where I stand on it. I do think all of the subtleties and all of the allegories are still a strength too, but I do feel like they can't just do that. I do feel like that's not really telling the best story that you can possibly tell with what you set up. And also with the relationship you set up with the audience with that mystery too. Anyway, so it'll be interesting to see where we go with that. Like I say, right now, I feel like so much potential. A lot of potential. And especially with handling the Helena, Mark situation. I think there's a way to play that there's so much good story that they could tell. So we'll see. Anyway, that was goodbye, Mrs. Selvig. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the format of this video, not subscribed, please do consider doing that down below. Like the video. It's a free way to help me out, help the channel out, get this video around the algorithm. Leave a comment, all that stuff. There are some links down in the description below for early access to all my videos. Got my gaming channel down there too. Thank you, God, as always, to my patrons, my YouTube members, for your support. Genuinely genuinely just thank you for that. As always, every single Wednesday, we got a new episode of Severance. Thank you once more for watching, and I'll see you next time.